it's kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm not complaining because I'm glad people are realizing how problematic this guy's content is. At the same time, I feel it's one of the more like harmless videos he's made compared to some of the other insanely gross ones. And also what I wanted to do is, because a lot of people often say like, what has MrBeast done that is bad? And I've made quite a lot of videos documenting that, but at the same time,
no, you have not. No, you have not. You have not. You just made videos showing him doing good things and you complaining about it. You've never explained what is bad about it. You just say that it's not enough, or you're just upset about it, and that's the end of it. You never explain why you're upset about it or why it's bad. You never do any of these things. And Kavernacle, bro, you want to come talk to me about this stuff, I will happily have you on. You want to come talk and you think that you can explain this, I will happily have you come explain it in some coherent way, but I don't believe you're capable of doing that. That's the reason, actually, in reality. I don't think you're capable. I think that in reality, I would just show you to be the fraud and the whiny little baby that you are, because yeah, you're going to just keep complaining about other people who are bigger than you, doing more than you, and you're going to complain about it because you're a lefty and you're supposed to complain about rich people, and then that's just kind of the end of it.
Because a lot of people have tunnel vision, they really couldn't see why they would criticize MrBeast's content in the first place. Not even as a...
Because they have tunnel vision. You guys haven't pointed out anything bad. You have to show something bad at some point. Just point out anything bad. Something. Some sort of negative from this. Anything at all. At some point. Like, just the smallest little thing. Please, I'm dying here. Please. Just show something bad. At some point. You gotta give us something, dude.
Remember that clip? I pretty much show it every opportunity I get. It's MrBeast and Logan Paul laughing about basically doing something that I'm pretty sure is very illegal if it was the stock market, but because crypto is pretty unregulated, they got away with it and felt they could brag about it on a podcast.
This guy, the Kavernacle, we've talked about him a couple of times on here. He posted this tweet where it's got a screenshot of MrBeast saying, Twitter, rich people should help others with their money. Me. Okay, I'll use my money to help people, and I promise to give away all my money before I die. Every single penny. Twitter, MrBeast bad. This actually seems pretty accurate. A bunch of lefties who like talk about, you know, the rich should do more, the rich should help people more, blah, blah, blah. And like, obviously that's not their big prescription, right? They want socialism. They want like the government to take care of these things. But in the meantime, if rich people are benefiting off of society as much as they are, they think that rich people should do their part and give back a bunch. And that's what MrBeast is doing. But the Kavernacle posted, I honestly think this tweet puts to bed the notion that MrBeast does good because he's a nice guy, when in reality, it's always about growing his brand and being liked. This is actually insanely stupid. All people want to be liked, and if MrBeast giving people money, if all of that only exists because of his brand, then yes, like he has to grow his brand in order to continue giving people money. That's the only way he can do it. If all of a sudden he keeps giving people money, but his brand doesn't grow and he just runs out of money, then he's just incapable of giving people money anymore. This shows such a bias from somebody who just hates MrBeast for some reason. And I don't know why. I don't know why this dude hates MrBeast, but he does. He's gone off about MrBeast a number of times. And every time it is him just stretching as hard as he can to make MrBeast look bad. I quote tweeted this, said all morality is pushed into social norms with stigma and praise. You're just explaining why all people do good things. What a dumb tweet. Yeah, to say that he wants to be liked. First off, who cares why he's giving people money? I don't care. I literally don't care. Like, if you're giving people money and you're helping others, then you're doing good things. Like, you're doing good, and that's kind of the end of it. I don't need to know what your intentions were for us to have this outcome. And if you're a lefty, you likely only care about outcomes. And so I would assume you don't care about intentions either. You only care about the outcomes, and you don't care why he gives people money either. You just care that he's helping people and that people are helped in the end. That is Like, that should be all that matters to anybody. But for some reason, this guy is whining and crying about MrBeast giving away money if he doesn't have, like, the exact right intentions behind why he gives away money. If you guys don't know who MrBeast is, he does, like, a ton of videos where, like, he'll do contests and stuff, or he'll just walk up to people in the middle of the street and just hand them money. He even does, like, contests for, like, other content creators. He'll do stuff where if they win, like, some amount of money goes to their favorite charity.
I challenge The Rock to rock, paper, scissors.
If you beat me, I'll donate $100,000 to charity. Whichever one you want.
Wow.
You ready?
Wow, I am.
Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, he's not predictable.
Come on, man.
Oh my gosh. This is gonna take forever.
If I win, what happens?
I donate $100,000 to whatever charity you want.
Okay. And if you win, I will match that and donate $100,000 to any charity you want.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Here we go. Here we go.
That's right. Oh my gosh, I was not expecting that. You ready?
Hold on a second.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on a second.
Okay, I'm ready. I got it.
I got it too.
Okay.
Here we go. Yes. I'll do it. I got it.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I'll still donate 100 as well.
Oh,
So what
man.
charity are we donating to?
Let's go Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Perfect.
Hey, ma'am, do you want a free iPhone?
Thank you. Really?
Thank you. Here's an iPhone. I love your act. Here's an iPhone.
No way.
Here's an iPhone.
Thank you so much.
Who wants free AirPods?
Yes!
You want an iPhone?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Happy birthday. Who wants an iPhone? Do you want these AirPods?
Seriously?
Since you follow, you get two.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I got AirPods. Thank you so much. Here's your tip.
Huh? Shamil.
Yeah, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Merci. Merci.
So yeah, this is what he does. He just walks around giving people free stuff or donating to charities, and he makes a ton of money on his YouTube channel because a lot of people come to watch him give away free stuff. They like to see people happy. They like to see people in the end super excited. And so they all donate to this channel and they all sub and join his membership, and he makes a lot of money off of giving away a lot of money. This is his entire gig, and the only reason he's capable of doing these things is because he has a lot of followers. So he has 18.6 million subscribers. 18.6 million subscribers. And he always has people like coming after him for just the weirdest stuff. He always does. People always are trying to come after him for just the smallest, dumbest, littlest things in the world. The Kavernacle is another one of those people. So, yes, right now, he's going after MrBeast on Twitter. But this is his old video on MrBeast from about 2 years ago, I believe, is when this published. Yeah, 2 years ago. And it's so dumb. The entire thing is just him stretching as hard as he possibly can to try to critique MrBeast, and you never know why. Like, you never really realize what it is that he's so upset about here. It never makes sense. He never gets a half-decent critique in the entire time. It's just, well, he could have done more. Oh, he gave them $1 million? Why didn't he give them $10 million? He could have. He can afford it. Like, that's everything throughout this entire video.
If I won $1 million right now, £1 million, whatever, I would not be spending it in a day. I would not be spending it in a month. I would not be spending it in a year. I'd probably buy something like a new house and then I'd keep it or invest it. Now in the video you'll see he just wastes it on lots of ridiculous stuff.
All right, so you now have 24 hours to spend the $1 million. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Here you go. Thank you. Two. Give me two. I want a Nintendo Switch.
All right.
Two of us.
Whoa, two?
You sure you don't want the cheaper one? I'm just messing. You got $1 million.
That's the Series 5.
Okay.
Two Note 10 Pluses.
Of course, the new iPads as well.
Wow.
Thank you.
I don't know how much that was, but it's right there on the counter.
All I need from you is a signature right here. The vehicles are yours.
You better not read it. You're a millionaire. You ain't got time to read.
What if Mark was like, yeah, how much is this coat rack?
Just for clarity, how much is this house? It's 165, right? Yep. Okay, which is perfectly in the budget.
So like you see, cars, video game consoles for his friends, all this stuff. Now it also goes
He is so stupid, dude. He is so salty. This guy is so salty, dude. He is so salty. It comes across as so petty the entire video. And in his conclusion, it doesn't get any better. It's not like he wraps it up all of a sudden and now it makes sense.
Seconds.
We are about to launch the largest firework anyone in mankind's history has ever seen. Literally a world record. $160,000. Give me one!
Oh, yo, you can hear that.
I felt it in my chest.
You spent $600,000 on that while giving some of these people who really need it a measly $5,000. Again,
Bro! The channel has to grow, homie. The channel has to grow in order for him to give anybody anything. The channel has to grow. Yes, he has to have like entertaining stuff going on at the same time. And so sometimes it's just him giving away money. Sometimes that's all it is, the entire video. It's just him giving away stuff, you know, iPhones, laptops, like stuff that people need. Or it's him, you know, giving away houses. It's him giving away cash. It's all sorts of stuff like that. And then other times, it's him like making entertaining content and trying to find ways to give away money in an entertaining way to where more people will watch it.
Again, I'm not saying it's not good he has done those things, but when you compare what he's doing, he's a guy who can throw around all this money. You're barely doing anything in the grand scheme of things to help people with that stuff while you're spending.
How much money you giving away, bro? How much have you given away? How much money you giving away, homie? You have 101,000. I have gone over philanthropy on this channel a million times. I've talked about like things that I try to do to be charitable, and I try to encourage other people to be charitable consistently. These are things that I do, and I don't make a whole lot of money. I'm not a super rich person over here, and my channel's got, I just hit 1,000. What do you got? What do you got? You got 92,000. Huh. How much money you giving away? How much have you given away, Mr. Kavernacle?
So much money on ridiculous stunts, paid for by brands or not. And let's get to the point, if this stuff is paid for brands, that's even more sickening, that they're just throwing around money for ridiculous stuff like this, just as he's throwing around money. Because they...
These people, they really don't understand how this stuff works. Like, he really does not. If he explained how it worked and then broke down like the issue with the system, that would be one thing, but he's not even doing that. It's like he just found out that like brands want to have their stuff in MrBeast's video because lots of people watch MrBeast's video, right? If he hands out an iPhone and people get super excited about getting an iPhone, this is good for Apple. Apple wants to have videos out there where people are super excited to get an iPhone. This is good for their brand. This is good for them. So they'll give him free iPhones to hand out to people. And then that makes him more money to where he's able to give away more money. Like, all of this works within a system, but you're not critiquing the system. You're just whining that he's giving away stuff and not enough stuff.
There are significant problems in the world right now, and there are very, very, I guess, direct problems. It's not just, you know, general problems with
This is the how could you do that when there's starving children in Africa right now? This is the argument he's giving right now.
Capitalism, consumer capitalism, healthcare. It's literally like people are being laid off, people are being evicted at unprecedented levels, especially in America. When you're a guy who is either pretending or clearly cares about people by giving them so much money, I don't think now's the time to start spending it on totally ridiculous stuff just for clickbait videos. And it's not surprising, which he probably knows, this video did significantly better.
Just for clickbait videos. He really doesn't get it. This is proof. He does not understand. He doesn't even understand what it is he's critiquing. He's just whining that it's not enough. Oh, you gave away $100 million? Why didn't you give away 100 gazillion, quadrillion, bazillion dollars? Why not? That would have been more. That would have been more dollars.
Then the video of him handing out money to people in need, this one got 38 million views, which gets him a bunch of money, which also gets him a bunch of subs. And like I said, if, you know, there is a brand funding this, he has taken them to the bank and he's made that all for himself. So I hope you see through the course of this video why his videos in general are problematic. And yes, I understand the people in the comments who would say, MrBeast has helped loads of people, he's given them loads of money, that's helped them out. What have you done? And of course I can say I have not done what MrBeast has done, but I also am not in the position to help anyone with that kind of...
What? No, that's not even relevant, bro. That is, you don't have to be in his position to give away hundreds of millions of dollars to give away some dollars. Like, you can give away some money, bro. Bro. I think that's how you say it, yeah.
When you can spend 600 grand on fireworks for a video, I don't think it's necessarily right you give so little to people who generally need it. I also don't appreciate you...
It's his money, dude. Every other big YouTuber is just a big YouTuber, and that's it. They're just a big YouTuber, and they just get money, and that's the end of it. Every other YouTuber just gets money, and that's the end of it. This guy is actually using his platform to help other people, giving away his own money, and he's like, and this guy is complaining about that. He's complaining about that.
Exploiting their sob stories, what they talk about in traditional...
Or you can give away your time. Oh yes, I've talked about this a million times. Is if you don't have money, that's fine. Give away your time. Like, I was raised in a family where we grew up donating our time and our money in it, and I grew up in a very poor family, and like we were always going out and like working in soup kitchens or helping homeless people. My entire life growing up, there were always homeless people living with us. There were always people who needed help. And then even today, like I've had people living with me and people who need help who we just let them come and stay with us. Like, this is kind of how this is how I was raised, and this is how we've done stuff our entire lives. And I understand not everybody is raised that way, and most people just don't have resources to give away, or they'd rather keep their resources. That's perfectly fine. That's not a big deal. Who cares? Like, again, most of these YouTubers are just making money, and then that's it. That's the end of it, right? They just make money and then they move on. And it sounds like that includes him, but he's complaining about those who are helping people. Even if you were making like millions of dollars off of your YouTube channel and you only turned around and gave away like $5, that's still more than most people are doing. Yet this guy would complain about it. He would complain that you only gave away $5.
Entertainment TV, but of course we all know it's just people suffering during this time. I don't appreciate you using that for clickbait. I don't appreciate the way you depicted Mark's home life and those comments about his home life saying you're so happy he won the money. And I just think...
It's so bad, dude. It is so bad, dude. It is so bad. He stretches so hard. He cannot actually believe the crap that's coming out of his mouth. He cannot be this stupid. He really can't, dude. He cannot be this dumb. So yeah, so he went on his tirade on Twitter. A ton of people are hating on him, including like Know Nothing is getting in there. This is 23 hours ago. He starts complaining, saying, think about yourself in MrBeast's position. If you genuinely did good things just to be a good person, why would you care what a minority of people on Twitter think? Who cares why he's giving it away? Who cares? Why does it matter if he's doing it because he's a good person? Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Who cares? This is the dumbest stuff in the world. And like, again, we're talking about a lefty here, right? He has to be looking at outcomes, and or I don't even think he understands what he's talking about. I don't even think he's like thinking his way through it. I think he just doesn't like MrBeast for some reason. MrBeast probably passed him up and handed a phone to somebody next to him, and now he's upset that he didn't get that new iPhone 6 back in the day. And now he's going after MrBeast over and over, whining and crying because he wanted that new iPhone 6. Most people still love him. He's literally the world's biggest YouTuber. Like, why do you care? It's amazing how much he's showing himself to be like his daddy Musk. Musk is one of the richest men in the world, legions of simps, but it's still not enough because leftists are mean to him. both just have such a fragile, like, this guy is, he's just stretching. He doesn't actually have anything to complain about here. Just based on the replies to this thread, he has an insane fanatical following. He and they can't handle any criticism, and I don't think most people are critical of the act. It's more that it's self-centered because it focuses on him. I replied to him and said, I was like, I've never watched MrBeast, but you being wrong only has to do with you being wrong. Don't blame you getting called out on him having fans. I'm one of the people making fun of this guy. I'm not a MrBeast fan. I don't watch the dude. I know of him just because he's insanely massive, but I don't follow that dude. I don't keep up with his stuff. I'm not subscribed to his channel. I'm not subscribed. We can scroll through all his videos. There's no watch time on any of these things. I've never watched any of his crap outside of what we watched here today or what just pops up into my feed. Most of the time that I've heard of him, it's through other people talking about him. And so he decided to go release another video on MrBeast. This one released 1 hour ago. So we're going to watch this now. We're going to see if maybe he took some of those criticisms in his comments, if he saw some of the people making fun of him, if he realized how wrong he was and thought, okay, I will address these so that people actually understand why I'm upset. Let's see if he actually starts to make some sense here, or if he just continues to complain that MrBeast isn't doing enough, that he only gave away 20 million when he could have done 21 million. Like, let's see how this goes. I'm interested to see.
21st of July 2020, I made a video called Why MrBeast Content is Gross and Exploitative. Now, you guys might have seen that video. It's quite an old one at this point. And why I'm bringing it up is to point out that I've been criticizing MrBeast for a lot longer than most people. And I do joke about it, but I basically say that I'm the original MrBeast hater. I'm the president of the I Hate MrBeast Club, because a lot of people started to hate him after the Squid Game stuff. I feel like anyway, because there's a lot of videos on it. But I have always found his content really, really gross, really exploitative. And I'm going to talk about all those issues today because he's actually finally got quite a massive backlash.
Really exploitative. In his last video that we went over, at the end, he was saying that one of the parts that he felt was gross and exploitative was the fact that he said to somebody, I'm really glad that he won the money.
Make your life a little bit easier.
That's just crazy. That's just insane.
Oh, you're about to make me cry. Okay.
Trying to make a decision whether to take a job, you might get sick.
Hopefully that $10,000 makes it where you don't have to pick, a job that can potentially get you sick. How's the recent pandemic affected you?
I am out of work. As soon as they heard about it, we were shut down. So I rely on mostly family.
How does that make Blast University feel? All right, so we here at Blast University want to help you out. How does $5,000 sound? Do you think that would help alleviate some stress from your life? $5,000.
Yeah. A lot. I can pay a lot of bills.
We're glad we could help you.
I'm glad you could help me. I'm glad.
We just wanted to see how the recent events have affected people. How have you been finding yourself with all these things going on?
My second job is closed. My full-time job hours are reduced bad. So I had to go online with school.
So wait, you were working 2 jobs and going to school at the same time?
Yes.
We here at Blast University would like to give you $5,000 to help make things a little bit easier on you.
Are you serious?
We are very serious.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I don't know what to say except for thank you.
You're very
problem,
welcome.
You will make things a lot easier on me, and I really do appreciate it. Wow, I'm kind of speechless.
Do you have time for a quick survey?
Yeah, I guess so.
Have financially and everything, things been good, or has the pandemic affected you negatively?
The pandemic has definitely affected us negatively. I got laid off from my job. Supposedly,
You got laid off.
my whole team just kind of got in.
Pick a number between 1 and 10.
9.
Do you think $9,000 will help make your life better?
Yeah, I think $9,000 would be amazing.
Well then, right after this call, I'm gonna wire you $9,000 to try to make things a little less stressful for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
Now, not all of those people are the same, but again, it seems to me pretty disturbing using people who are falling on insanely hard times for your clickbait video, which you've titled, I give $200,000 to people who lost their jobs, 17 million views. He didn't give anyone $200,000. He spread $200,000 among multiple people. Anything for clickbait from MrBeast.
All right, I'll add it in later whenever we release this in a video. I can't find it, but
I don't appreciate the way you depicted Mark's home life and those comments about his home life saying you're so happy he won the money. And I just think
it's so bad, dude. Yeah, he starts complaining, saying, I can't believe he would say, I'm so glad this person won that money. How disrespectful. This is so rude that he would say, I'm glad that they won the money. This guy, he's so inconsistent on what it is that he's complaining about, and he just jumps all over the place, where he's like, well, I'm not saying that it's not good, but also he could have done more. And then also, I don't know where the money's coming from, but if he's making money off of giving away money, then that's bad. And it's just, it makes no sense. And he keeps saying clickbait as though it's bad. Bro, clickbait the hell out of me if you want to give me $9,000. I will take $100 and you can clickbait the hell out of me. Yes, please. Clickbait me, daddy. Thank you.
And I think it's shown his true colors for the first time, because I've always said, based on his trajectory on YouTube, I don't genuinely believe MrBeast often does things just because he's a nice guy. I'm sure he's nice in some ways, but at the same time, it feels very obvious to me and to a lot of people that he's building his brand and he's building his massive following. He's now the biggest YouTuber on the entire platform by doing supposed good things. And now some of these things are very good, undisputable. Some of these things are also a bit weird. So I wanted to talk about this in relation to the backlash, because in my opinion, he said something I've believed for a long time. He does a lot of this because he wants to be liked. It's no wonder his idol is Elon Musk, and he's showing actually some similarities to Elon Musk because he's mad that he's getting criticism, despite the fact
this is supposed to be bad in and of itself. So just for anybody who doesn't understand, these lefties hate Elon Musk so much that somebody who just like says like, oh, I like Elon Musk and I want to be like Elon Musk and I want to give away a lot of money and be charitable like Elon Musk, they would automatically consider that a bad thing and you a bad person for saying something like that or for thinking something like that. So just for anybody who doesn't understand and who doesn't know and it isn't hearing the dog whistles, that is what he's saying when he's just like, you know, oh, well, he wants to be liked. That's a bad thing. If you do good things because you want to be liked in this scenario, that's a bad thing. In reality, that's literally all people. That's all people. All people do good things because they want to be liked. 100% of people do good things because they want to be liked. 100%. 100%. Like literally everybody. Nobody has ever done a good thing outside of the fact that they want to be liked, because that is how social stigma works. That's how social pressure works. We make people believe something is good just by putting social pressure out there and saying, this is something that would be good. This is something that you would get praise out of, right? We praise heroes. We praise, you know, people who are strong and help others and all of these things. We praise those people so that others will want to do it as well. This is how it works. But when he says this, he's saying it as though it's a bad thing. That is what he's trying to say here.
Fact that most people love him, despite the fact he's the biggest YouTuber in the world, despite the fact he's insanely rich. And if you've ever criticized MrBeast, you've had the privilege of being swarmed by so many of his followers telling you you're a terrible person for even criticizing him. But just because some people don't like him, just because especially some leftist people don't like him, he's crying about it on Twitter. And who does that remind you of? It reminds you of Elon.
This is a lie. It's not just because people don't like him. It's because they don't like him and criticize him for things that aren't true. That they lie about things to stretch the truth, to make themselves feel better. And hey, I'm actually okay with you trying to make yourself feel better. You just don't have to do it at the expense of other people. You don't have to be a piece of crap in order to do that. You don't have to lie. That's kind of where the problem comes in, is not that you don't like him. Nobody cares whether or not you like him. It's that you make up the dumbest stuff in order to criticize him. And then you stretch it, like you become Stretch Armstrong and just start stretching as far as you can to make up some criticism of somebody who's obviously doing good things. And you complain about the good things.
Elon Musk, who did a massive right-wing turn once left-wing people started being more vocal against him. And even on my YouTube channel, like, I was criticizing Elon Musk like years ago. Jordan Peterson I was criticizing back in 2018 when it was pretty unpopular to do so. Like, I remember criticizing Musk, Peterson, and MrBeast when I was a smaller channel. Literally all my comments would be hate. But I think something is now changing, because on that video I showed you at the start, recently over the last couple months, every single comment I've been getting has been positive, where in the past, literally, it was one of those videos that kept getting views because people kept hating on it. Like, literally for years and years, I would get comments from like children telling me how jealous I was of MrBeast. And even in December, I predicted that MrBeast would have some sort of downfall in 2023. I just didn't think it would be so soon. So what I want to do with this video is really get into the backlash to the video he made, talk about the video a bit, because I honestly don't even think it's like even close to one of the worst things he's made. So that's why I do find it funny. It's kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm not complaining, because I'm glad people are realizing how problematic this guy's content is. At the same time, I feel it's one of the more like harmless videos he's made compared to some of the other insanely gross ones. And also what I wanted to do is, because a lot of people often say like, what has MrBeast done that is bad? And I've made quite a lot of videos documenting that, but at the same time,
no, you have not. No, you have not. You have not. You just made videos showing him doing good things and you complaining about it. You've never explained what is bad about it. You just say that it's not enough, or you're just upset about it, and that's the end of it. You never explain why you're upset about it or why it's bad or any of that stuff. You never do any of these things. And Kavernacle, bro, you want to come talk to me about this stuff? I will happily have you on. You want to come talk and you think that you can explain this, I will happily have you come explain it in some coherent way, but I don't believe you're capable of doing that. That's the reason, actually, in reality. I don't think you're capable. I think that in reality, I would just show you to be the fraud and the whiny little baby that you are, because yeah, you're going to just keep complaining about other people who are bigger than you, doing more than you, and you're going to complain about it because you're a lefty and you're supposed to complain about rich people. And then that's just kind of the end of it. That's my opinion. I don't know.
I think what I should do is make a whole video documenting that, maybe in like some sort of chronological order. So I'm going to record that tomorrow, and this video is primarily going to be focused on the backlash he got, his response to it, and people like swarm in the comments of people like me who would dare criticize MrBeast. So all of that coming up for you today. So I've been really ill with food poisoning, and then
it's not because you would dare criticize him, it's just because your criticisms are hollow.
My computer just wouldn't work for like 3 hours while I was about to record. That's why it looks a bit different in my apartment, because I had to change room because it's so late when I'm recording this. But yeah, you know all the good stuff. Like, comment, check out all my social medias, check out the Patreon, all that good stuff. And now let's get into the video. So basically, MrBeast's newest video was something called 1,000 Blind People See for the First Time. And it's basically MrBeast teaming up with some charity to help people get a surgery, which is actually fairly common in countries of universal healthcare. People have been talking about how much Cuba has cured blindness through its socialized medicine program. But obviously in the United States, this treatment is very expensive, pricing people out of curing their partial blindness. And also in other countries I was reading, it's a very, very cheap and routine procedure. So I've watched a lot of MrBeast videos and I've reviewed a lot of them on my channel. And like I said, I don't think this one is the worst, but I do find this thumbnail very weird. So look at the thumbnail, look at this boy. This boy is not in the video. And those tears are also edited in. Like, do you guys not think that's a bit weird? Like, you have so many examples in the video of people who are very, very grateful for MrBeast like curing their eyesight, but he's just got some random kid. Like, I don't know if this guy was cut out of the video, but he could just be like an actor, or this could be some sort of stock image. So I do find
it's a stock image. It's a freaking stock image. What is wrong with you, dude? He actually thinks that like clickbait in and of itself is bad. He really does. He's taught, like in the last video you saw numerous times, he just said this is clickbait as though that was the end of his criticism. Just calling something clickbait is the end of his criticism. There's nothing else there. This is what I'm talking about, where he just says things as though like, because I said it, now it's bad. That's the end of it. There's nothing actually bad about these things though.
I find that like very weird and manipulative. So I just want to show you a couple clips of the video. I don't want to talk about it too much. Basically, the premise is he is paying for this surgery and
this is manipulative. Okay, so just for everybody to like actually gauge this, okay? This is manipulative in the same way that wearing makeup is manipulative. Like, this is manipulative in the same way that like wearing tight jeans for women to wear tight pants is manipulative, right? This is manipulative in those sorts of ways where it's like, it's not really bad. It does manipulate you in some way to like make you attracted to somebody or to make you want to like talk to them or to make you think that they're good looking. Sure. Same with clickbait. Like, you're being manipulated in a way to where you're just going to click on something. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't take anything away from you. It doesn't hurt you in any way. But sure, it manipulates you in some way. It's like if I smile at somebody and I'm nice to them, now maybe I'm manipulating them in some small way. Sure. But there's nothing bad about it. There's nothing bad about people wearing makeup. There's nothing bad about me smiling at people. There's nothing bad about me being nice to people. There's nothing bad about thumbnails that are clickbait. There's nothing bad about any of this stuff.
Shows you him paying for it, and he shows you the people there and what a nice guy he is. He also surprises some of them with like a Tesla car and like $10,000 in cash. Like, what a nice guy. So I'm just going to show you a couple clips and then we're going to talk about it.
In this video, we're curing 1,000 people's blindness. It's gonna be crazy. 200 million people see the world like this, but I just made it one less.
Oh.
Can't see, but we have all the technology to fix it.
Yep, half of all the blindness in the world is people who need a 10-minute surgery.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Our next patient is Charlie.
You're not able to read any of this text on the TV?
No, it's an E or something, I think.
He won't know he won 10 grand until after his surgery. I can't wait to see his reaction. Charlie sees everything like this, and it's made him and his family's life extremely difficult.
I was a cashier. My eyes was getting so bad I couldn't see how much the money to give back. I just want to get my vision back so I can go back to work.
And for Charlie, if the surgery goes well, he can go.
I'm sorry, hold on. What the hell was that dollar bill?
Cashier, my eyes was getting so bad I couldn't see.
What? That is a really poor cropping job around this. What is going on?
Couldn't see how much the money to give back. I just want to get my vision back so I can go back to work.
And for Charlie, if the surgery goes well, he can go back to work.
What's it like?
Oh, wow.
All right, let's see if he can read it now. What does this say?
You just won $10,000.
Here you go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
So not only are we helping people here in America, but we're also going to other places around the world.
Because unfortunately, nearly half the population with curable blindness doesn't have access to this surgery. So I wanted to provide this to as many people as possible.
See, and this is something that Kavernacle should be super excited about. Like, hey, not only is he helping these people, but he's also criticizing the systems in which they exist in, saying that they don't even have access to this stuff. And so because they don't have access to it, because they don't have free healthcare and they don't have a way to get this on their own, now he's going to give it to them. He's saying, like, you know, they could have access to it by themselves, but they don't. So now I'm going to go and give it to them anyways. This, like... I would love to see if Kavernacle even acknowledges that part. Give me just a second. I gotta grab something. What's up, Anthrax? So yeah, we already know based on his past criticisms, he's going to look at this and say that because he is using people who have some sort of shortcomings to make money so that he can use that money to help other people, that this is exploitative in some way. But I'm waiting to hear like how it's actually bad or how it's where the negative comes in.
I see everything.
Thank you, MrBeast. Thank you.
So if you really care about that video, go watch the whole thing for yourself. Now, my initial reaction upon actually watching it was, you know, it's just like typical MrBeast. Like, I have seen a lot worse from him. And I guess a lot of people's immediate reaction is kind of like, it sucks.
I've seen a lot worse from him. This is what I'm talking about. He just shows things and then is like, wow, look how bad that is. And then moves on. He can't explain how these things are bad. I don't think he's capable. Again, if you're a lefty, you care about negative outcomes. That's like the basis of being a lefty, is negative outcomes are what makes something bad. He has to show the negative outcome at some point, dude. He has to show something that is bad or that has some sort of bad outcome somewhere. Somewhere, at some point, he has to show something bad. But he doesn't. He just shows you things and then's like, wow, rich people, am I right? And then just moves on.
That a YouTuber has to do this because these people cannot get their eyesight cured on like the system or for one reason or another. And I guess like a lot of MrBeast videos, it's very much centered on him and his charity rather than the big issue. Like why is this an issue? Why do so many people have these eye problems? Why can so many people not get them fixed? And I can understand to some degree MrBeast doesn't want to get like super political, but it feels like a pretty privileged position to throw around so much money to these issues while not actually discussing with people how they can actually fix them. Now, to be fair,
Now, real quick, being in a privileged position is not a bad thing. Again, lefties like to say, well, wow, privileged position, damn. And then they just move on. Again, that doesn't make it bad. That doesn't mean that anything bad happened. Just because you're privileged is not negative. There is no negative to this. You have to show some sort of negative from this. MrBeast, being in a privileged position and using his privilege for good is a good thing. It would be great if everybody used their privileges for good things, right? Like, that would be awesome. I'm only just a cis, straight, white male living in America. I am probably the most privileged person of all time. Or like, you know, like I am in the most privileged position of all time. That doesn't mean that I did anything wrong. I was just born into this position. I can use this position to talk about the issues and to advocate for other people and to hopefully make changes in some small way. But I didn't do anything wrong by just being in this position. I can't become a trans black woman in a wheelchair. That's not an option that I have. So I haven't done anything wrong just by being in a privileged position. But he says privileged position as though that, again, that's just enough. That's it. That's enough. Just MrBeast has done something wrong now because he's in a privileged position.
I'm going to be fair in this video. He does put a link to the charity which is helping with all this stuff. It says in the description, right next to advertising for his food. If you'd like to support more of his site restoring work.
I heard that if you set your mind to it, you can become anything you want. One day, I will become that black trans woman in a wheelchair. One day.
Visit this website, and then it's called See Together in Sight. Join us in our mission to end preventable blindness, make a difference to MrBeast by donating $5 a month and sharing the cause with others. You will become part of a movement that can end preventable blindness. We know that $5 might not seem like enough to change the world, but with thousands of members joined together in a single mission, we can create a visibly brighter future. So a lot of people like myself just don't like MrBeast content. It feels very much like it's geared towards children and young people who find, you know, this kind of like Superman figure saving people like very, very appealing. And they think when you do something like this, you're amazing. But at the end of the day, MrBeast is a very wealthy person. MrBeast actually makes a lot of videos that have nothing.
Again, this is how we make social change. This is how we influence people. Somebody like MrBeast is a good influence on others and what makes people think, yes, giving away your time, giving away your money, giving away things to other people who are more in need, this is something good. This is something to look up to, and this is something to strive for. This is something that you should become. And him getting a lot of praise for this, and him getting a lot of views and becoming famous over this, this is helpful for society. This is something that we want within society. This is good.
Nothing to do with charity. He does videos that go viral and are ridiculous to make this guy a lot of money.
And again, I'm sure Kavernacle would be like, well, do you think that's why he's doing it? It doesn't matter why he's doing it. It doesn't matter why. We're looking at outcomes here, and we're looking at the outcome and saying, this is good. Just the outcome is just good in every direction, in every possible way. The outcomes are always good.
Money. And I thought we established like years ago that if you film yourself giving money to homeless people and upload it on social media, you're going to distort your intentions with that, right? Because if you just do a good deed, you've done a good deed because you want to be a good person. If you do a good deed to film it, put it on social media, build your reputation, fame, and maybe even make a lot of money, then that adds to a lot of problems. We're going to discuss this a bit later. But in the context of that one video, it's pretty amazing that so many people started turning on MrBeast, but I feel like this sentiment towards him has been rising for a while. So I think this is the tweet that kind of set off the chain reaction. So Low Overruled wrote, "There is something so demonic about this, and I can't even articulate what it is." And it got 86,000 likes and 3,000 retweets and 4,000 quote tweets. And
this just means that our society is becoming less and less educated. This is not a good thing. You being happy that you being a hater and getting other people on your hate train with no outcomes that are good here. Nothing that is helpful here. There is no good that is coming from this outside of the only thing that I could possibly take from this in any moral scenario whatsoever is that you are just making it to where there's probably less people who will watch the content, which means he's going to make less money. Also, there's probably less people who are going to donate to the charities that he's advocating for because you whine and complain about this as though it's a bad thing without ever pointing out any negative anywhere whatsoever.
And he responded, "Some people think I'm mad at him, don't care about him at all, in fact, think he's a fascinating, bizarre person. I don't know what to tell you if a single rich guy paid for life-changing surgery for us and it's easy to do this, doesn't set off any kind of alarm in your head." Other people saying, right at the start of the video, they say something about how 50% of blindness is curable, then to see them just dancing around like it's a talk.
Hey, we got our first top fool. Let's go. Let's go, Corlix. Yes. First top fool. Hell yes. 07's in chat for Corlix. Let's go.
Show charity segment infused with the vibe of modern content tailored to destroy our attention spans feels viscerally wrong. Brandon Bird saying, because no element of it would happen in a healthy society, people would simply get surgery when they needed it, neither misfortune nor acts of kindness would be paraded for views, you wouldn't need to be mega rich to do something good. Hassan, who hasn't really criticized MrBeast significantly, he made a video. He just saying basically it's messed up that people have to rely on some YouTuber potentially giving them this surgery because the system fails them so bad.
You watch this video, you go, oh, how cute and how nice. I watched the video and I'm filled with rage.
What's wrong with you?
That we shut off access to a 10-minute procedure because we paywalled it and decided that like some people just simply can't get it. It is so insanely frustrating that it like it's up to like one YouTube guy to like decide to make content out of it that like that people who are too poor can't just see. That's insane.
Yeah, but that's an issue with the system, not the content creator. That's not a problem with the content creator.
And then a lot of people just memeing him saying, imagine being blind and then the first thing you see after your life-changing surgery is this. And then people saying, hey kids, if you like MrBeast, you'll love Fidel Castro. He restored the eyesight of 4 million people around the world. Because
you guys realize they had to get permission from these people to record them, right? When this is the first thing you see when you wake up, you already agreed to this. If this is the first thing you see, it's because you said, yes, it's okay if they record me and follow me around for my procedure. You probably signed papers and everything. These people are actually brain dead. They don't know how the world works. These lefties, that when we talk about these lefties being people who are just so sheltered and have just never been outside of their houses to the point where they just don't understand how anything works, this is only more and more proof to that being true. This is only more and more evidence showing that this is actually the case, that it's just a bunch of people who have never touched grass and who have absolutely no idea how the systems that they're critiquing actually work in reality.
After your life-changing surgery is this. And then people saying, hey kids, if you like MrBeast, you'll love Fidel Castro. He restored the eyesight of 4 million people around the world. Because a lot of people have tunnel vision, they really couldn't see why they would criticize MrBeast's content in the first place. Not even as a
because they have tunnel vision. You guys haven't pointed out anything bad. You have to show something bad at some point. Just point out anything bad. Something. Some sort of negative from this. Anything at all. At some point. Like, just the smallest little thing. Please, I'm dying here. Please. Just show something bad. At some point. You gotta give us something, dude.
Criticism of MrBeast the person just the content, because he's exploiting poverty and poor situations for viral content and viral views. It's a bit of a sick society.
He's exploiting poor people to help poor people. Disgusting. Disgusting. How could he? The exploitation. I cannot believe it. This is so bad. I am grossed out by MrBeast. You're right. You got me. I am on your team now, buddy. I am on your team. How dare he use poor people to make them not poor anymore? Oh.
Where something that is so basic in many countries can be used for viral YouTube content by the biggest YouTuber on earth to grow his brand, to grow his personal fame, to sanitize his reputation even, because everyone thinks he's an amazing guy. But generally, I'm showing you some of the backlash against him. Most people are being so positive about this. If you look at the YouTube comments of MrBeast's video right there, nearly every single one is saying he's an amazing guy. And that is pretty much the case on every single video he makes, right? He has so many fans who want to be just like him. He has so many fans that absolutely love his videos.
This is a good thing. Again, yes, this is a good thing. This is how, like, morals work. This is how we, like, put good out into the world. This is how we make change. This is how we get other people to do good things. Yes, this is literally how it works. This is, like, sociology basics, like, 101. Yes, this is the simplest stuff in the world.
I think probably a lot of them are a lot younger because they seem quite naive. Then you also have a lot of Elon Musk simps who came after me on Twitter today who also love him and promote him all the time. But what is so...
This is the demon mama stuff. This is the demon mama defense, where it's just, they're just coming after me just because I criticize their content creator. That's it. But if you go and actually read the comments, it's not just a bunch of people coming after you just because you attacked him. It's people telling you that you are wrong. It's people saying you're incorrect here and explaining why you're incorrect as well. They can tell you why.
So funny is that his response to the mild criticism from a very small minority of people...
Although I gotta say, Clark, it's kind of messed up that you would use your money to help other people like that when they're starving children in Africa. I'm not gonna lie.
Really got him hurt, so he tweeted this: I don't understand why curable blindness is a thing. Why don't governments step in and help? Even if you're thinking purely from a financial standpoint, it's hard to see they don't return on investment on taxes from people being able to work again. Yeah, MrBeast, that's kind of interesting you're saying that. Why didn't you say it in the video? Why did it take a whole backlash against you to actually come out and say something about why don't governments do something? Because you know what would have made the point?
MrBeast should just make 30-minute video essays complaining about everything. Then he'll really change the world. Yes. Why? MrBeast should have just sat around whining and crying about everything all the time without any sort of, like, explanation for what's bad about it. That would have been so much better, actually. He should have, he should have been trying to stigmatize people doing good things. That would have been a much better use of his time. True.
About his video better, he could have said something like, yeah, this is such a massive issue. Why don't our government, the US government, step in and do something? Why don't they support, I don't know, Medicare for all? It's all well and good to make this video, but then you're not actually pointing out the real issue at hand. And you're only saying something once Twitter leftists have a little backlash against you, showing...
Again, this is that they're starving children in Africa. This is the argument. This is like, how could you help people in this way when there's starving children in Africa? Why would you give a homeless person a bunch of McDonald's burgers when there's starving children in Africa? How dare you?
How sensitive he is. But then this tweet is pretty unhinged. He then writes, would you vote for me if I ran for president? Yes, 70%, and no, 30%. Like, he wasn't joking there. He was serious. And someone told...
That is unhinged. You can say it's a little cringe, but it's unhinged. That's what we're going with, is unhinged for a poll on whether or not you would vote for him for president. It's unhinged. What the hell? This guy, dude. He is such a hater, dude. He is such a hater. What's up, Phil? How's it going, buddy? People talk about MrBeast like he's Fort Knox of the IMF. He doesn't have command of every dollar in the known universe, yes. This is pretty much yes. Yep.
Told him in the comments like you're not old enough. And he didn't seem to realize you have to be like 36 to run for president. But again, absolutely amazing. Gets a tiny little bit of criticism. And now he's asking people if he should run for president. Like, this guy reminds me so much of Elon Musk. And then my buddy Lance at the...
And again, I want to keep pointing this out. When he says, this reminds me of Elon Musk, this is him saying that's bad. Anytime he compares something to Elon Musk or says, this reminds me of Elon Musk, this is him saying, look how bad this is. That's the end of it. He can just compare it to Elon Musk and then it's bad. That's the end of the criticism. That is why it's bad. That is the negative outcome, is it reminds me of Elon Musk. That's the end of it. That's all you need.
The Serfs wrote something. People honestly praising MrBeast yet again. This guy does poverty tourism for cash, no lies told. If he pays a person's medical bills, lottery style, without informing anyone with his platform that it's messed up, he needs to do that, that's just profiting off his ability to do so. Totally agree with Lance there. But MrBeast, who rarely tweets anyway and rarely replies to people, wrote, it did raise awareness and got tons of people talking. Also, what profits? The average MrBeast video lost $1.5 million last year. I mean, MrBeast, it didn't get people talking because you started a conversation about the US healthcare system. It got people talking because you literally just ignored that issue to make this viral content. And it's all well and good.
So you remember earlier when I said, I wonder if he's going to acknowledge the fact that MrBeast points out like the systemic issue in this video.
Because unfortunately, nearly half the population with curable blindness doesn't have access to this surgery. So I wanted to provide this to as many people as possible.
Not only is he not acknowledging that, but he's choosing to act as though MrBeast didn't do that at all. He's acting like it didn't even happen. And he showed it in his segment. He didn't have to show that part. He could have clipped that out. We never would have known that MrBeast even mentioned that part. But now he did show that in his video. And now we do know that MrBeast did address that. And he is still choosing to ignore that. And his fans and the people who watch him will let him get away with that much dishonesty. They will allow him to be this dishonest because it's not about being honest. It's not about being a good person. It's not about making any sort of change. It's just about hating on people who have money. And that's the end of it.
Helping these people. In a vacuum, it's all well and good. But when you have a chance to raise awareness of why so many people have terrible conditions like this guy also runs a food bank. And let me tell you, I'm going to cover it tomorrow. The videos on his food bank are pretty much the same as this video, right? He just gives people food, shows you their reaction, then he might give them some money or an iPad as well. Doesn't talk about why so many people go hungry, doesn't talk about the rates of poverty in the US, which causes hunger and causes necessity for food banks.
Wow. How could you give people money when you could have given them more money? How could you do good things when you could have done other good things? Why would you help people when you could have helped more people? Now you're doing something bad. That's where the bad comes in.
And I guess the criticism is, while he is doing good things, he could do more to raise awareness, because at the end of the day, there aren't millions and millions of MrBeasts who can do this all the time. He's one person. If you want actual change, you have to go, sadly, through governments, through voting for the right people, even in a capitalist democracy. Because even if you think someone like MrBeast is the answer, someone like him should go out of their way to do charities, feed people, restore people's sight, there's not enough of people like him doing this. As rich people doing charity work is never going to be the answer to systemic issues like poverty, poor.
Why would you go help people when there could have been other people who could have helped people? Now MrBeast is a bad person. Got him.
Healthcare or hunger. Here's a tweet which basically confirmed my views on him over the last couple of years. Twitter, rich people should help others with their money. I don't remember ever saying that. Me, okay, I'll use my money to help people, and I promise to give away all the money before I die. Every single penny. Twitter, MrBeast, bad. So if you're doing charity work and you firmly believe in the cause of the charity work of what you're doing, Why do you care what a minority on Twitter think of you? For example, I have a lot of political beliefs. I have a lot of like left-wing beliefs that are very unpopular. If I went and worked in, I don't know, Gaza for a Palestinian aid charity, or if I was the size of MrBeast with the money MrBeast and I put loads of money into aid workers helping Palestinian people.
Clark W. super chatted $2.50. Hassan has a way better take on this.
Yeah, we're actually going to get to the Hassan video. I've got it queued up here. Sass sent that to me. She's doing producer work. She's on it today. So yeah, we got Hassan right here, ready to go when we get done with this. So we'll hear what Hassan has to say on this. But so far, it's all bullcrap. Now, the criticisms that I've heard from Hassan in the past is, I don't like charity work because I don't want people to depend on private business owners for charity. I want like the government to do it. I want there to be systemic change. And if I contribute to this system by doing charity, I am only contributing to a system that is making people starve every year, which is actually a really stupid take. That is insanely dumb. I don't like the system because people are starving. So therefore, I'm not going to do anything to help the system at all. I'm just going to sit around and wait for the socialist revolution because that's real change. But in the meantime, we all know the socialist revolution is not coming. And you're just saying like, okay, well then just starve to death in the meantime. We'll wait for the socialist revolution. Like, we need more people to starve. We need more people to die and starve to death so that the socialist revolution will come faster. And so in the meantime, I will sit in my $3 million mansion so that I can wait for the socialist revolution. Those have been the takes I've heard from Hassan in the past. So I'm interested to hear if he's got something different this time.
Right? A lot of people would absolutely hate me. Far more people would criticize and hate me than the people criticizing MrBeast. I wouldn't care about that because I believe in the cause. I'm not doing it for any other reason but the fact I believe in the cause, right? So if loads and loads of people, if the majority of people hated me for it, I wouldn't care. Majority of people love MrBeast for this, and he's still mad about this. So doesn't that tell you so much about his intentions? Yes, he could.
He's not mad about it. He's just pointing out how dumb you guys are. This is how they have to twist it as much as possible, is he just points out your hypocrisy, and then you're like, wow, oh my goodness, look how mad he is. Oh, wow, oh my goodness, he's so mad. I can't believe he's mad. Wow. But you're not actually like responding to the criticisms that he's putting out there. You're not even responding to the hypocrisy that he's pointing out. You're just like, whoa, wow, he's soy raging. Look at him. Oh my goodness.
He genuinely, in some way, wants to help people. Does he do it for clout and fame? Yes, he also does that. Now, you guys have to remember, MrBeast didn't...
So what? There is not a negative outcome from that. There is nothing bad that comes from that. That is not a bad thing. So does Hassan. Hassan literally sits around talking about socialism for clout and fame. You sit around whining and crying about people for clout and fame. You guys do absolutely nothing for anybody in that process. You do nothing. You just whine and complain. That's the end of it. You're just little babies sitting around screaming and crying, annoying the hell out of everybody else, waiting for the mom to come shove a sock in your mouth. You're not actually helping anything. You're just whining and crying.
Start his channel as a charity channel. He never said he did this to become the biggest charity on YouTube. He started his channel by trying to game the algorithm by listening to like Everyday Bro by Jake Paul, like, was it like 1,000 times in a row or something like that? You're telling me a guy who will do stuff like that for YouTube clout and fame isn't above using charity work to also promote his image and sanitize his reputation? Of course he will. That's what rich people do all the time. He is no different in my mind to loads and loads of billionaire and millionaires who do lots of good charity work and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, there's always some sort of ulterior motive. Both things can be true. MrBeast likes helping people. MrBeast likes the reputation he gets from helping people, and MrBeast also exploits poverty for content. So speaking of MrBeast Sims and his legion of fans, I got insane hate for this Twitter thread, basically summing up what I've just said to you. So get a load of this. I screenshotted the tweet and I said, I honestly think this tweet puts to bed the notion that MrBeast does good because he's a nice guy, when in reality, it's always about growing his brand and being liked. If I had millions to spend on good causes of my choice, I don't think I'd give a single shit about what a tiny group of people online think of me. And then obviously getting like incel YouTube all quote tweeting me, getting the quartering, obviously directing a lot of his followers to me.
The quartering said, man who's helped cure 0 people's blindness whines about man who just cured 1,000 people's blindness. This is accurate. Yes, this is true. Again, the Kavernacle is just pointing out people who are criticizing him and being like, wow, look how mad they are. Oh my gosh. Look at how mad they are. Wow. I can't believe they're mad. Like, when you're getting roasted by the quartering, you know you have reached the depths of stupidity. You know that you have really messed up when you're getting roasted by the quartering. By the quartering, dude. The quartering is getting dubs on you. You know, you have really messed up when the quartering is actually getting a W on you, bro. Oh my goodness.
Some guy called Bow Blacks and Orgy RFC. The thread is psychotic. Even if you disagree with what I said there, do you think it's psychotic to criticize someone's fragile ego after they got like a tiny bit of backlash for the first time? I don't know who this guy is, but seemingly it's like some sort of streamer. I also got Elon Musk's like biggest simp, founder of Dogecoin or something, who wrote to me, I don't know you, but I'm 100% sure you've never done a single useful thing for anyone in your entire existence, right? He wrote that to me, and then I called him an Elon.
He's just showing people mad. That's it. He's just pointing at people going, wow, look how mad they are. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, they're mad. Why would people be mad? Oh my goodness, they're mad. That he's got nothing else beyond that. He's not responding to what they're saying. He's just showing people who are criticizing him and pointing out his hypocrisy. And he's just like, oh my goodness, they're so mad. Look how mad. What is wrong with these people? Why would they be mad about things? What is wrong with them?
Musk simp, and then he blocked me and all my followers. This guy has 2 million followers and I only have 9,000. So honestly, while lying in bed,
he keeps saying things like it makes sense. He keeps saying things like there's some sort of logic there. Well, he has 2 million followers and I only have 9,000. And then why did you say that? What is the point in this? Why do you keep saying things? Why do you just keep saying random stuff as though it's some sort of dunk on people? You're not making sense, bro. You're just saying random stuff.
Bed with food poisoning, I was just getting loads and loads of hate from people, and most of it wasn't substantial, basically saying, well, what have you done? The Beast is the better person than you. The only people I can imagine who actually got really mad at my tweets must be right-wingers or some enlightened centrists.
Oh, yes, we all have to be right-wingers in order to disagree with you. Yes, if you actually addressed any of the criticisms, you would actually be able to make sense of that, right? You would actually be able to like show some sort of consistent line that makes sense of what it is you're saying now. But you're not addressing any of the criticisms. You're just pointing them out and being like, oh my gosh, they're mad. Wow. Oh my gosh. Look how mad they are.
And children, because I can't imagine getting so mad at criticism of a random YouTuber. And I'm also pretty sure a lot of these people don't actually watch MrBeast content.
This is really just like 2016 trolling, dude. This is 2016 like trolling where you just put out the most ridiculous statement ever and then you show a bunch of people and just say like, haha, they're mad, got them, and then you move on.
Because if they did,
like you're pointing out other people and saying, look at what they said. And your criticism of them is that they're pointing out you and saying, look what he said. You're doing the same exact thing that you're like pointing at them for and being like, oh my gosh, they're mad. So now we can all point at you, pointing at them And we can all point at you and go, oh my gosh, he's mad. Why is he mad? Why does he care what people on Twitter think about him? Oh my gosh. Why would he even look at this stuff? Why does he even care? Why would humans actually care about what other people think about them? Oh my gosh. This is so ridiculous.
They know about a lot of the more like shadier stuff to do with him. But there's so much to talk about MrBeast. I want to save some for tomorrow, but I actually wrote a Twitter thread earlier today, and I think it summarizes a lot of my argument to do with him nicely. So I just want to read that and then just bounce off it to like.
Oh my goodness, I cannot wait for this. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait for this. This is going to be beautiful. We finally get something to make sense of this. Yes, instead of the Twitter thread, instead of him going over the Twitter thread, now we get an actual argument that summarizes it nicely.
Like wrap up the video. I think it's amazing people.
Yes, that was Australian. Get over it.
Don't even want to understand criticisms of MrBeast. Yes, in a complete vacuum, MrBeast helps a lot of people. Those people are probably grateful for it. Years ago, I thought most people agreed giving money to homeless people and filming it was in poor taste, right? Like you're exploiting their situation to make yourself look better to help yourself.
You can't just call it exploitation and think that that's enough. You can't just say, look at the exploitation and think that that's good enough, bro. There has to be some sort of negative outcome here. There has to be something bad about it. Just saying it is exploitation is not enough. There has to be something else.
Otherwise, why film it? Most of us don't film ourselves doing good deeds. So there's a dual motive there.
It doesn't matter. It has good outcomes. Every time it's just going to have good outcomes. That's what matters. That's what matters in the end. I don't know, unless you're like a hardcore dogmatic Christian, which it's possible that Kavernacle is. It's possible that this is where all this is coming from, is he's got this like very dogmatic Christian morality that doesn't align with the rest of society. That this is very possible. But for the rest of us, we're looking for some sort of negative outcome here. We don't just point at gay people and say, look, bad, because bad. We actually look for some sort of negative outcome.
Even if there is a genuine desire to do good, there is a desire to be seen doing good too, to build, at the very least, reputation, clout, fame, and also money. And the counter argument I get is he makes money to do good things, which I'd accept more if we knew more about his tax situation. He says his videos lose money. How is he sustaining these insanely expensive uploads? Sponsors don't pay that much. The reality is that he's probably not paying a significant amount of tax as just straight up tax. His main company is an LLC. He has a non-profit, which is an easy way to claim business expenses and get.
Now he's making up scenarios that are a possibility so that he can have some sort of criticism. Even if this is the case, unless you're like saying he broke the tax law or something, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Yes, he should use tax loopholes in order to pay less taxes. Yeah, that's yeah, that's fine. Who cares? Like he's literally making up a scenario to say he probably doesn't give away all of his money to the government. Therefore, there's some sort, this is probably bad, maybe. Like he has to make up some hypothetical in order to criticize him. Release your tax returns, MrBeast. Yes. Let's get that hashtag going.
Tax write-offs. This dude took COVID relief loans while splashing 600k on fireworks for one video. Sorry if I don't think he's legit when it comes to his finances.
Oh my goodness, what do these have to do with one another? This guy is actually nuts. He's just saying random stuff. He is just saying random things, acting as though it's just bad just because he pointed at it. Look, it's a trans person. Ah, wow. This is the same logic. This is the same logic where you just have to point at it and say it's bad, and so now it's bad. That's the end of the criticism.
In reality, he's probably paying a lot in tax, but not as a percentage of income. And that's before we talk about him and Logan Paul bragging about collabing with Gary Vee on a crypto pump and dump. Because as we all know, people who don't care about money at all get involved with stuff like this. And you guys remember...
Wait. That's before we talk about him and Logan Paul bragging about collabing with Gary Vee on a crypto pump and dump. Is that real? Did MrBeast really do a crypto pump and dump? Reveals significant crypto holdings. Here's what he has. That's not a pump and dump. MrBeast gets advice from Dogecoin. Elon Musk silent on MrBeast burger. MrBeast fan token smashes their raise. YouTuber reveals how MrBeast actually made his fortune. MrBeast reveals which cryptocurrency he's holding. Where's the... Dude, if he actually did a pump and dump, this would be all over the place. This would be all over the place. He's just lying now. He's actually just lying now. If there was a pump and dump, it would be everywhere. MrBeast becomes unfair bad label for Twitter users. Dogecoin creator has this advice. Yeah, and they're pointing out, yes, they're pointing out this tweet because of how bad the lefties look after, like, everybody else can look at this tweet from MrBeast and be like, yeah, like, these lefties look really bad. But we're going to have Kavernacle here point out the tweet and be like, look how mad he is.
Remember that clip? I pretty much show it every opportunity I get. It's MrBeast and Logan Paul laughing about basically doing something that I'm pretty sure is very illegal if it was the stock market, but because crypto is pretty unregulated, they got away with it and felt they could brag about it on a podcast.
Bro, there's no way, dude. There's no freaking way, bro.
Your title and thumbnail set expectations, and at the very beginning of the video, to minimize drop-off, you want to assure them that those expectations are being met. If you click on a video where, you know, of his, where it's like, Tether is a scam, and then at the very beginning he starts talking about literally anything else, then you are like, oh, this is bullshit. This isn't what I clicked on. But if at the very start of the video you go, Tether is a scam, and I'm going to teach you why, then it's like, okay, you match the expectations. So at the very beginning, match the expectations, and then you want to exceed them. So you want to assure people that what they clicked on is what they're getting, and then blow their mind and be like, but you're also getting even more. That's how you lower drop off.
I mean, this is actually really interesting because Kavernacle keeps saying that MrBeast is doing clickbait. Whereas clickbait is where you get people to click on something that isn't actually related to that. That's technically how we use the word clickbait, is like you're trying to get people to click on something that may be unrelated to what the actual video is. Coffeezilla. So Coffeezilla is somebody who investigates crypto pump and dumps, and he like outs people who do crypto pump and dumps, and he exposes them. Exposed by me. He exposes them on his YouTube channel, and he's done it a ton of times where, yes, people are really getting away with really messed up crypto pump and dumps, and when they get away with it, Coffeezilla outs them and shows all of the legwork and proves how they did this. And then most of the time, he'll even do a call with them and ask them about this stuff and get them to out themselves. So if MrBeast actually had a pump and dump, we would have seen it here. We would have seen it at this point. I've seen the video about Gary V thing, but it was some NFT project that a group call invested in and then sold for profit, probably something all rich dudes do. So it's not even crypto, it's NFTs. He says he's going over this tomorrow. So hopefully tomorrow we will see what the hell this is, and we'll be able to check back and see if maybe he finally, in his fourth video on MrBeast, actually shows something bad. That would be awesome. NFT rug pulls, yes.
Out of nowhere, just calls me, and he's like, yo, I got like 30 people to call, hop in. I'm like, I don't care. He's like, it'll be the best decision of your life, just get in. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So there's like all these like very successful people in this cult. And Gary's just like, here's what you're going to do, and you're going to do it right now. You're all going to buy a bunch of CryptoPunks.
It's going to be huge. Gary was right again.
Like 8 of them, and they did pretty good.
And any zingers? Any like real special ones?
I had some that like, whatever, 20, 30 X.
You guys, a question. When Gary does that call with all these billionaires, and 8 months or a year later, everybody's like, Gary was right again.
Yeah.
Is it possible that he's right because of the call?
When I say, is it better?
Wait, no! There's nothing... nothing happened! What the hell? It really was just NFTs. And he just like, yes, they just bought NFTs that made them money. And that was the end. They bought NFTs that just made them money. That's the end of it. What is happening, dude? What is happening? This guy has nothing. He's got nothing. And he just keeps pointing at the most random stuff over and over and over and over and just being like, look, haha, got him. There's nothing there. There's nothing bad happening each and every time. It is so desperate, dude. This is so gross. This guy is so disgusting.
MrBeast helps people or not? I mean, yeah, it's better. Is it self-serving? Yes. Does he exploit poverty to make himself look good? Yes. Has a lot of his motivation been fame and clout? If you look at how he started, this is obviously yes. Does he probably pay a fair amount of tax versus income? We don't know. Does he not raise awareness about the wider issues he exploits for content? Very rarely, if at all. Is he annoying? To me, yes, his content is for children. And let's not even start on the MrBeast copycat, which he inspired, but if you're honest with yourself, you know his style of content can easily inspire worse forms of his gimmick. Made a whole video on this Fidias guy. He's like an evolution of MrBeast, but somehow so much worse. So most people's criticisms, which he and his fanboys got so butthurt over, was just, isn't it shitty? We have to...
See, again, he's just, look at how butthurt they are. Look how mad they are. Oh my goodness, they're mad. This is like playground bully criticism, where you just annoy the hell out of people with nothing. You just troll them over and over and then just point at them afterwards and like, look how mad they are. Oh my goodness. Look how mad they got.
Rely on some YouTuber to fix problems for viral content, which is completely valid even if you disagree with what I'm saying. It seems most people can grasp that rich people doing charity work is undemocratic, often used to underpay taxes and to boost their image for wealth, like Bill Gates. But somehow when anyone even wants to discuss this in regards to Beast, you just get a ton of abuse.
No, Mr. Kavernacle, okay? Listen, let me give you like some small advice here, okay? You're coming out with your new video soon. Maybe you're editing it right now, okay? You have to point out something that's actually bad if you're going to point at specific people and say that they are doing something bad. I'm not even saying that, like, you're saying that MrBeast is bad, but you are saying that he is doing bad things, and you have to point out the negative outcome from those things at some point. But you're only pointing at him doing good things and then saying, wow, look how bad it is. He is existing within a system and he cannot change the system by himself. Him not doing charity work is not going to help your socialist revolution whatsoever. But in the meantime, the system still exists. And so he has to, like, he's doing the best he can within this system to help other people. If you want to criticize the system, that has nothing to do with MrBeast. Now you might say, well, the system is what causes people like MrBeast to have to do this sort of charity work. True, and that's fine if that's where you want to go, but you would be criticizing the system and not MrBeast whatsoever. But instead, over and over, you're just criticizing MrBeast for existing within a system. There's nothing bad about that. It's like, if we point at black people who are going to jail at really high rates, and we say, look, they're existing within systemic racism. Wow, look how bad they are. Oh my goodness, I can't believe they would do that. Or if we point at white people and say, wow, white people existing within whiteness. Wow, those white people are so bad. I can't believe it. That they're not doing anything wrong. They are born into these systems. They don't have any control over the systems. They can't single-handedly change the systems. So when you point at individuals and say, look at this individual just existing within a system, you can't just now say, well, now they're doing something bad. That's not how morality works in any system ever that I've ever heard of. Okay? You have to actually point out something bad at some point. Otherwise, you are no different than any like hardcore Christian who points at a gay person and just says, look, bad, because bad. You are no different. There is no difference here whatsoever, except for maybe like some sort of like, you know, systemic issues that come from that afterwards. But the systemic issues that come from somebody pointing at people doing good things and trying to pretend that the good things are bad things can also lead to systemic problems, which is why the rest of us have to point at you and make fun of you for being wrong so that people don't stop doing good things. Now, I'm sure the Kavernacle, I'm sure he has a lot of videos on Hassan, right? Outrage at fake socialist Hasan Piker for buying expensive home for his family. Just like Bernie. Oh my goodness, he's actually defending it. He's defending it, isn't he?
Hopefully this will just be a quicker video today. I was looking for something to talk about because I was up late finishing yesterday's video to about 4 AM. And this whole discourse on Twitter and on the internet popped into my feed, so I thought I would talk about it because it's not just something relegated to Hasan Piker buying an expensive house. It's been used a lot with Bernie Sanders as well, so I thought I would give my opinion.
He's defending it. He's defending this
on this type of stuff and this kind of belief that if you're a socialist, you can't have nice things.
He's defending it. He's really defending it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He is not turning around and saying, Hassan, look how rich you are. Look how much more you could do. They're starving children in Africa. He's not doing that to Hassan. What the hell, dude? What is happening? When you point at capitalists and you're like, wow, you're not doing socialist things. How strange. But then you point at socialists and you're like, who cares if you don't do socialist things? Get over it. Bernie Sanders not doing socialist things? Whatever, dude. No big deal. But MrBeast and Elon Musk not doing socialist things? That's bad. No. You guys are such freaking hypocrites, dude. It is so gross. It is so gross.
We'll say this about MrBeast, it does see me as one of the world's like best PR agencies, or maybe because his content is so geared towards children. Children are just stupid, so they'll just defend anything because they can't really understand the complexities of the world or the nuances of the world. They see.
It's because Hassan says the thing and virtue signals, so it's not good regardless of the results.
Someone do what MrBeast does, and they just think, good. And if you say anything against him, you must be evil. You must be bad. And like I said, tomorrow I'm going to make...
No, bro, that's what you're doing. You're just pointing at things and saying they're bad because they're bad. Everybody else is pointing at what you're saying and explaining why you're wrong. You like Know Nothing is over and over explaining how you're incorrect, how all these other lefties complaining are incorrect. I'm explaining how you're incorrect. There are so many people telling you why you are wrong. That's it.
Make a whole video about why I have been right about MrBeast, why I don't like him. And
it would be great if at any point you would explain why you're right about MrBeast. Literally, at any point during any of these videos. That would be so nice. That would be great. Your video number 3, where I finally get to the point, years later.
And why he actually isn't a great guy, but just focusing on this overall topic right here. And
he doesn't have to be a great guy. If this is your entire criticism, is he's not as great as people think he is, if that's it, then you're a piece of crap. You're just a piece of crap, dude. You are just a salty little baby, whining and crying. If that's it, if that's what you're actually saying, it's not well, any of this stuff is bad. It's just that it's not as good as people make it out to be. Yeah, you're a piece of crap.
And people like really attacking people, criticizing him. I don't understand how most of you can't understand, at least on the surface, why people find this a bit gross. Like my original video was why his content is gross and exploitative. It exploits people's situation, whether that be healthcare.
You can't just call it exploitation, dude. You can't just say it's exploitation. You can't just say those words, exploitative, and then just move on. There has to be something that's actually being exploited. Not their situation is going to be their situation regardless of whether or not MrBeast helps them. That he's like, nothing is changing there. There's no negative outcome coming from this.
Whether that be poverty or their need for food, and makes it into viral content. And part of these people getting the surgery, I'm guessing, is they have to agree to appear on this video. So then they are characters in this viral, silly content. And MrBeast only addressing the issue on Twitter after he got massive pushback, and then whining like a little baby, asking if he should run for president and that Twitter is mean about him, I think was just a big mask-off moment for him, because up until that point, he pretty much ignored the...
Again, it's all just look how mad he is.
Criticism. Like, I haven't seen him really ever address any criticism towards him. And then in one video where he got like a little bit of backlash...
That tweet is him addressing it. You freaking idiot, dude. This is him addressing it right here. Twitter. Rich people should help others with their money. Me. Okay, I'll use my money to help people, and I promise to give away all my money before I die. Every single penny. Twitter. MrBeast bad. This is him addressing it. This is him addressing your criticisms right there, where he's saying, you think that rich people should do this thing. So he found a system to do that thing to the upmost degree, to the nth most degree. What am I trying to say here, guys? He found a system in a way to where he can do this to the utmost degree, to where he's capable of doing this at an even higher level. So instead of him just saying, okay, I have now been successful on YouTube, so now I'm just going to give away that money. Now he's found a way to regenerate that money and give away more money. And your criticism is still that he should do more, that he's not doing enough, or that he's just exploiting things where you can't point out exploitation. This is exactly what it is that you're doing, and he is pointing it out and responding to that criticism. But instead of you responding to his response, you just point at him and go, wow, look how mad he is. Wow. You mad, bro? You mad, bro? You mad? Hey, you mad? You mad, bro? Look how mad you are. Look how mad he is. Oh my goodness. Wow. You mad? You mad? This is an entire video of him just like pointing at him over and over going, wow, you mad, dude? You mad, bro? Look how mad you are. And that's it. That's as good as it gets.
From lefty Twitter. He just shows who he really is, to some degree at least, right? Like, people were trying to argue with me in my tweet that if they were in MrBeast's position and they were giving away money to causes they truly believed in, and 95% of people were telling them how great they were, they would still be mad that not everyone likes them. But people who have a ton of money and throw it around to make viral content, which does benefit them, no matter how you want to spin it. If you want to be like MrBeast and pretend like every single video he makes loses him a bunch of money and there's no way to recoup that or anything like that, that's on you for being naive. But I firmly believe even if his average video loses $1 million, it's probably, to a degree, written off in tax, claimed on expenses. If you run a company, you get an insanely reduced tax rate, and you get way more you can claim on expenses. So if MrBeast wants to run for president one day, he can also release his tax returns, because then we can all have a look if he actually pays his fair share of taxes. And like his tweet said, Twitter apparently says, we want rich people to help people more. No, we don't really. I want billionaires and rich people to pay their taxes more, along with not wanting them to really exist in the first place. But it's no wonder his hero is Elon Musk.
Now we get to it. Now we get to it. I don't want them to exist in the first place unless they're one of my homies. Then I don't mind if they exist. Then it's all good. Then I will defend them. And it's all good. No big deal now. Leave it alone. People are mad. Look at people being mad on the internet. They think Hassan, a socialist, shouldn't keep piling up all of his money and then buying $1 million mansions and really nice cars. Wow, look how mad they are. Look how mad these people are. And then you turn around and you say, wow, look at this guy who's not just stacking up money, but is using it to help people. And I criticize him. And then everybody gets mad. Look how mad they are. Oh man, wow, I can't believe they're so mad.
He's so brainwashed by the notion that the rich can solve everything. And if only we'd like him more or give him more money. And
again, it doesn't matter whether or not you think the rich people can solve everything. It doesn't matter. What matters is that, being pragmatic to some degree, we know that we do exist within this system. And within this system, it is good for people to help others. Like, this is the system that we're in, one way or the other. People like this are just bad people. They're just very, very evil, bad people that sit around whining and complaining about good things. And that's all they do. That's all they use their platforms for, is to complain about other people doing good with their platforms, while the lefties only do bad with their platforms. People like Hassan, people like Demon Mama, people like Kavernacle, people like Xanderhall, all of these people only do bad with their platforms. They don't do anything but bad. And I'm waiting for the day that they finally do like one good thing, but they don't. They just sit around doing bad things. These evil capitalists are doing good things. They are doing the things that you want a system to do, but the system's not doing it. So individuals are doing their best to replace the system that doesn't exist, to try to help others in the meantime. And you still get upset with them for it.
Praise and stuff like that. He could do more good things. And it's just so...
He could do more good things. Yeah, there it is. He could do more good things. These people are actually evil. They really are.
Ironic how so many people think his whole channel is literally just like a self-funding charity.
What are we ignoring? Vosh raising money for charity? I didn't mention Vosh in there. Actually, if you'll notice, Vosh's name was not mentioned in there. If you want to rewind it back and check and see if I mentioned Vosh in there. If I did, my bad.
This guy's estimated net worth is insane. And like I said, why would a guy who uses all his revenue to do charity work just randomly jump in on a crypto pump and dump with Logan Paul and Gary Vee? Can anyone answer that in the comments? People who literally think every cent this guy makes is put back into his charity work.
Tom, you get mad at us calling righties just bad people, but then you were doing the thing. I do not. I do not. I don't understand how somebody can come to my chat every day. They're here every day and they hear my criticisms every single day, over and over and over. But then they come back to repeat them back to me so incorrectly, just way off from what it is that I actually say. And plus you and I have like personal conversations on these things all the time where I'm able to like answer all of your questions and explain it to you in detail. And sounds like a you problem. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Why would he do that? What, is he just doing crypto pump and dumps to raise money for charity now? You're honestly going to tell me that? Please, people have a brain.
Bro, where's the pump and dump, you freaking retard? You are so stupid. You are actually stupid. You are actually brain dead. I am not just being mean. I am not just being critical. I am not just like throwing this out there. I am making a descriptive claim. This guy is an idiot. He is actually stupid.
Have some critical thinking and be skeptical of rich people and rich people doing charity work for viral content. Plenty of rich people.
Again, he says for viral content as though that is the bad thing. That's the negative outcome. They did it for viral content. That's where it's bad. I'm getting hot now. This is actually pissing me off. I hate these people so much, dude. These are actually like evil pieces of crap. on the internet saying the dumbest stuff in the world, and a ton of people here I am actually capable of explaining why these people are bad, why they're wrong, why they're stupid, why they are incorrect, why they are immoral. I can walk you down each and every step, the entire way from what it is they said to where it is they're wrong and how they are immoral. I can explain it all the way across. Here they are with hundreds of thousands of views, tens of thousands of subs, and people who actually understand the issues and can actually make sense of what it is that they're talking about are sitting here. What am I at? 1,000? This is frustrating. This is frustrating where people who put nothing but negativity and bad into the world are the people who get a ton of views and a ton of subs. And then he'll clip me here laying out my criticisms in detail and be like, look how mad he is. Look how mad this guy is. Oh my gosh. He's so mad. Tom's so mad. Got him. Yep. Got him.
Do charity work behind the scenes, which you never see. And you should still be skeptical of that because of the tax implications. A guy who makes his whole revenue, popularity, and clout off this stuff, you should be insanely skeptical of. And as you're going to see in tomorrow's video he put out recently is one of the more tame ones, because there's way more gross stuff. So on a final note, if MrBeast is going to learn anything from this whole backlash, it is, in theory, there's nothing wrong with what you did. You paid for people's surgery when they couldn't afford it. Isn't that nice? But also, when you start making that into viral content, you have to realize that some people are going to find this gross.
Why? You have to explain why, bro. You helped people and then you got a lot of views. You have to see how wrong this is.
Either because they feel like you're exploiting them, or either because they feel like the situation is so gross, it shouldn't be made into viral content. But if...
Like, look, you are taking MrBeast, making viral content off of those people, and then you are trying to make viral content off of MrBeast, making viral content off of those people. Wow, look how bad you are. Look how bad this guy is.
MrBeast wants to do this, I would suggest actually raising awareness about the real issue. Why can so many people in the richest country in the world not afford a basic surgery which people can get in a poor country like Cuba?
That you're criticizing the system, bro. You're just criticizing the system. This has nothing to do with MrBeast.
For example, how can people educate themselves? What can people do in their real lives to try and make this change actually happen? He has a massive platform. He could do this, but he wants us all to think he's the solution. Even that narcissistic tweet about should he become president, why would anyone think you should become president? Someone who exploits poverty for content and uses it as a backdrop to your stupid videos that have nothing to do with charity, like the prison one. Anyway, that is it for the video. Honestly, feels really funny to be someone who's criticized MrBeast way before anyone else, and slowly since the Squid Game video, see more and more people hate on him until he's actually responded. And in my...
Congratulations, bro. You were wrong before everybody else. Congratulations, you were dumb and stupid before everybody else. Well done. We're all so proud of you. I'm so happy for you, bro. I missed some of the end. Did Cav redeem himself and move his sights onto the system and admit MrBeast is doing more good than harm? Yep, that happened. That is exactly what happened, yes. Editing this video is going to be so hard.
MrBeast responds to your critique. Oh, I forgot to talk about this. He saw a lot of people talk, and I think he read it, and normally it doesn't even matter because like he has billions of fans at this point. So like it gets lost in the sauce. But I think this is one issue where he's just like, even he as Mr. Capitalism, even as like an appreciator of capitalism, he recognizes that like what's going on with, you know, which is true. It's a good take. It's a good tweet. It's a good take, and I stand by it. I agree with it. Asking the governments to step in and help pay for medicine is not capitalist. That is literally the exact opposite. You're trying to say.
Again, okay, so this is what I'm talking about when I say that these people don't even understand the systems that they're criticizing. They sound like anarcho-capitalists when they say stuff like this, okay? Where anarcho-capitalists will say that, like, we don't have real capitalism right now. We don't have real capitalism because it's not laissez-faire capitalism, which is just untrue. Capitalism has always existed with oversight. Capitalism has always existed with regulation. Capitalism was, like, even in its earliest designs, was meant to have government oversight to regulate it. Adam Smith actually believed in government regulation and oversight. Yep, that's what I'm saying. So capitalism has always needed regulation. It's always been designed to have regulation. The government has always been meant to fill in the gaps. Where capitalism falls short, the government is now meant to pick up the pieces and fix those parts. That has always been the plan for capitalism. So when Hassan sits here acting as though capitalism is meant to handle everything, he sounds exactly like an anarcho-capitalist. This is why I say this all the time, and this is just more proof that the biggest socialist on the internet obviously does not even understand the system in which he is critiquing. And that is embarrassing.
Say that this is, you are trying to maybe say that, like, even his analysis on why this would be helpful is capitalist, in which case you are correct. Plenty of capitalist social democracies have made it so that healthcare is at least, like, completely affordable. Went off on live stream failed by a fan. Like, someone posted this on LSF, and because people are just, like, I think so brain damaged to, like, understanding what I have to say and you know, read everything I say in the least charitable way possible, that they were literally yelling at me for this. Twitch streamer Hassan explained why he's filled with rage from watching MrBeast's news video where he cures 1,000 people's blindness. Now that's clickbait. Like, they did that to clickbait, and people are so dumb that I don't even think they watched the video. I don't think they watched the clip and understood what my perspective was, because everyone was, like, shitting on me originally, and now people are like, nah, never mind, he's actually spitting. People were losing, all the top comments originally were like people losing their minds who did not read and were just like, dude, you're an idiot. Why don't you also get 1,000 people and cure their blindness? You watch the video, you go, oh, how cute and how nice. I watched the video and I'm filled with rage.
What's wrong with you?
That we shut off access to a 10-minute procedure because we paywalled it and decided that, like, some people just simply can't get it. It is so insanely frustrating that it's up to, like, one YouTube guy to, like, decide to make content out of it that, like...
Okay, sure. But that's still not, like, that's okay. That is a fine criticism to have. That's nothing against MrBeast, though. This has nothing to do with, like, this has nothing to do with whether or not MrBeast did something wrong.
Like, the people who are too poor can't just see. That's insane. Common Hassan L says, you didn't watch the video, did you? Nope, just impression farming. I've never watched Hassan in my life. Dude, I hate that. This is like 98% of the commentary surrounding whatever I say. I hate this.
Bro, this is all of us.
So much. Do you even have enough money to do shit like this and monetize it? Yes, I could. Yes, I could. I do have enough money to do this. The reason why I don't do it is because I already work with charities and I already work with causes that I care about. But if I were to switch off everything and do a MrBeast style, I'm just gonna do a video where I, cure 1,000 people's blindness, people would.
Oh, Fabian Liberty, that debate didn't go so well for Tom. No, it did not. I couldn't get him to answer a single question. It was so frustrating. I think he might have been drunk. Because I think later we brought him on because he was upset with me. He thought that I was, like, trying to get one over on him or something. And then I think he said that he was drinking or something like that. So he might have been drunk the entire time, but I couldn't get him to respond to anything that I was saying. I was getting so frustrated the entire time.
Destroy me. Understandably so. It's like whenever people say, Hassan, you have a home. How dare you buy a house? Instead, you should build an apartment complex and become a landlord. I'm like, what? That is, like, antithetical to what I believe in. My argument is that MrBeast should not have to do this. My argument is that the system, if if worked normally in the way that it's supposed to, would not have a need for this kind of this kind of philanthropy. Okay, good point. But since I don't like Hassan, I will disagree. 811 likes. I don't even know if this person blocked me, so I don't even know if I think it's funny or not. I can't tell if that's serious or not. I mean, the argument that it's free healthcare means compelling some people to pay for other people, which isn't necessarily bad, but at least be upfront about it. This guy has no idea what insurance means. Like this, he doesn't understand that like all matter of healthcare is basically subsidized by other people. You know what I mean? You just don't understand it. You're describing taxes and you're describing insurance, even if you don't describe taxes. Like you don't know what you're talking about. There is a reason why pretty much every other Western nation, pretty much every other developed nation, and even developing nations have decided that healthcare should not be paywalled. You are never, this will never be a negative to you, okay? This will never be a negative to you. He said, I don't understand why curable blindness is a thing. Why don't governments step in and help? Even if you're thinking purely from a financial standpoint, it's hard to see how they don't ROI on taxes from people being able to work again, which is literally the reason why capitalist social democracies have healthcare.
Yeah, this is a much better criticism coming from Hassan. Hassan is actually criticizing the system and not the person. This is all perfectly fine. There's no issue with this. I have no problem with what Hassan's saying here. I might disagree with like some of the systems that he wants to put in, or like, you know, some of the types of healthcare he wants to replace everything with. But in the end, like, that's not what we're talking about. He's just saying that he wants more people to have healthcare, and that when he watches these MrBeast videos, he's upset that these people have to rely on private capital holders in order to get these things paid for, and that's what he's upset about. Wasan, yes, we got a Wasan here. W's in chat, we got Wasan going on. This is a big dub for Hassan.